I'm Mike Elliott, I'm head teacher at Ysgol Merllyn in Baghilt, Flintshire. We've got a lot of aspects to how we communicate with parents and how parents can communicate with us. The first thing that's really important to us is our culture that we have within school. We do pride ourselves on ours here, on how welcoming we are, how approachable we all try to be, from office staff to myself as head teacher. And I think that allows us to build relationships then with parents. No matter what you do, what tools you use, the key to it is relationships. In terms of electronic communication, we have that online system, but then we also have obviously they can contact us by email. They have my email and the office email. They also can use contact us by phone, that's absolutely fine. We often send out forms, which we use online as well, so we get their responses and their communication through that. But although there are these tools that we use, they're not in place of meeting in person. We will always try and encourage people to come in and meet with us because that face-to-face interaction is really important.
Parents need to understand what's happening in school. School is a massive part of their children's lives. You can't put it in isolation, or that's just school and this is home.
I'm always up to date with what goes on in the classrooms. I know essentially what she does in the classrooms too, because they send me some pictures. I feel like I'm essentially in the classroom with her.
We are impacting each other, so it's so important that we communicate and that they are aware what's happening in school, how their child's progressing, if there are any difficulties, how can we overcome it, what are the things that we can put in place to try and improve, or equally what are in place that they can be aware of the, real achievements that have been made.
We've got a process of events that we run throughout the year to again support that sharing of progress, to build those relationships that fits in with that culture and ethos that we're trying to work through. In the school year, in the calendar, the first things we look at are what we call a Celebrating Learning event. So that's like a marketplace style event where our school parliament will organise various stalls within our main school hall about all the areas of the curriculum that we cover, and then also things that are specific to our school. So for example, we're looking at the creative habits of mind a lot at the moment, which links in with the new curriculum. So originally we thought we'll do this event for governors to try and make it a bit different for them, but then we actually thought, well, let's invite parents in as well. In the second half of the autumn term, we then do something that we call our learner-led conversations. Our learner-led conversations are something we're really proud of because they're our parents' evenings essentially, but they're led by the children. So we do that twice a year as well, once before Christmas, and then we're in the middle of our second one now in the spring. The first one is a lot about settling in and any progress they've made with friendships and some of their work, and then the one that comes later is very much about progress and how have they developed from the time and how have they moved on from the time you came before Christmas.
A learner-led session is a chance for the parents to come into the classroom, see their environment, see what goes on in the classroom. And my daughter, I think she gains like a sense of pride that she gets to show me her work, and you can just see it in her eye that I'm showing Mummy what I do at school.
I feel like it gives Bailey more confidence. I think he's able to show me from his perspective what he's doing in the classroom. Also, I get a brilliant idea of what he's actually doing in school and where certain areas are in the classroom, because he takes me around the areas. He shows me his work and he says, I wasn't doing so well there, Mum, but it's a marvellous mistake, it's fine. And he says, I go and show my teacher goes through it with me, and basically he learns from that. And he showed me the progression in his work, so he's able to show me where he went wrong and then where he's picked up and he's managed to get it right.
We also have something we call sharing learning, which traditionally probably would have been classed as book scrutinies or monitoring and that type of thing, whereas we refer to it as sharing learning because, again, we want to put the focus onto the children within that. And we also get a real picture of what school is like. It's easier to get a real clear picture of what children experience when you hear it from the children, so that's really powerful to us. We produce a very simple sort of parent-friendly report at the end of that will go to parents to say, we've gone through this process with the children in our school. These are the brilliant positive things we've noticed about the experiences your children have. And these are some of the things we're going to work on for the next term, for the next year, to improve their experiences even further. And we send that to parents as a bit of a snapshot of that process. And at the end of the school year, we then do the more formal report that we send to them digitally, which again shows their progress over time in the AOLEs that we have and working against what matter statements and progression steps for us. But then it also shares our assessments of how creative we think they are. Because we're looking at those creative habits of mind, it gives them the opportunity to share that.
We get the end of year report, but also we do the learner-led conference. So anything that we see that needs, to be brushed up on, so to speak, you can handle that through the year rather than getting the surprise of the report. And you're like, why is my child not doing so well here but excelling in other areas? So it gives you a good idea where to gauge where your child's at and where they need to, maybe have a little bit extra help at home.
So we try and help parents understand that progress is understanding something better than you did before and improving at it. And those things are really important to us, that we're able to articulate that progress to parents so they can understand it. And for us, the best way to do that is to say, have they improved in something? Have they got better at something? Were they there and now they're here? It doesn't matter how small that is, and that progress we try and celebrate through the events that we run at school, like celebrating learning, like our learner-leds and our sharing of learning as well.